Welcome back for a short chapter today. Amazing, right? Okay, so we are going to be reading Doctrine and Covenants, section 73. And in the preface here, it says, Revelation given through Joseph Smith the prophet at Kirtland, Ohio, December 4th, 1831. Several elders and members had assembled to learn their duty and to be further edified. Just kidding. This is section 73 or 72 that I just read. Okay. Revelation. This is the before on the chapter. Revelation given through Joseph Smith the prophet and Sidney Rigdon at Hiram, Ohio, January 10th, 1832. Since the early part of the preceding December, the prophet and Sidney had been engaged in preaching, and by this means much was accomplished in diminishing the unfavorable feelings that had arisen against the church. Okay, so you remember that because of the paper that was being put out that was bad-mouthing the members and the religion and church, the Lord specifically told them to stop the translation of the Bible and go preach into these places that people were receiving these magazines or letters or whatever. And so that was the strat. Like, the Lord was taking advantage of that. Oh, and we were going to read the playbill of when the Book of Mormon play came out in New York, and how the church paid to put ads in their playbill. So let me find that, because I need to find that. Okay, I found it. Wanted you to see it. Okay, so this is one of the ads that they put in. It says, "I've read the book." Or one of the other ones says, "You've seen the play, now read the book," right? And then this one, so that one was the male ad. This is the female ad. "The book is always better," right? And I love that. In the article that I was reading about it, it says that too often publications or communication professionals will develop a daring strategy that the client, or in this case, the administration of the LDS Church, is reluctant to embrace. He said, "In my opinion, those who made the decision to go with this campaign and to stick with it demonstrated clear strategic thinking and strong leadership. But they're also doing what Joseph Smith did back in the day, or what the Lord told Joseph Smith to do back in the day," right? So, said the popularity of the musical presents a great opportunity for the church. "I think most people recognize the Book of Mormon musical as a satire, not an accurate representation of Mormons or their beliefs." I mean, maybe some people. "And so many of them will naturally wonder what Mormons really believe. And I think it's great that my church is taking this chance to respond to the curiosity that will arise after people see the show." Right? Like, I think that's so wise, that the Lord knows how to take advantage of things for his good. He knows how to turn things that might be bad into awesome opportunities. And so that's the same thing we can do. Like, sometimes life is the worst, right? And our trials are the worst, but we can act in a way that the Lord would act, and take those bad things that happen to us and make them opportunities for good and for growth and for the better. So anyways, just thought that was kind of fun. Okay, so but now we're going to see what this says. So this is some historical background. So it was a month after receiving the revelation known as the Section 71, commanding Joseph and Sidney to preach the gospel in response to the lies being spread by Ezra Booth, and the Lord gave another revelation on the same topic. Joseph and Sidney had refuted Ezra Booth's false teachings in the Ohio Star, and for 6 weeks preached all throughout that area. Okay, so that is super cool, right? Never mind. Okay, so we're going to keep going. Joseph Smith explained this. He said, this is from his church history. It says, "From this time, early December, until the 8th or 10th of January, 1832, myself and Elder Rigdon continued to preach in Shalersville, Ravenna, and other places, setting forth the truth, vindicating the cause for our Redeemer, showing that the day of vengeance was coming upon this generation like a thief in the night, that prejudice, blindness, and darkness filled the minds of many, and caused them to persecute the true church and reject the true light, by which means we did much towards allaying the excited feelings which were growing out of the scandalous letters then being published in the Ohio Star at Ravenna by the before mentioned apostate Ezra Booth. On the 10th of January, I received the following revelation, section 73, making known the will of the Lord concerning the elders of the church until the convening of the next conference. Okay. So Joseph and Sidney were to continue until it shall be made known unto you. Okay, this revelation was then given to instruct them that they had fulfilled this mission and that it was time to return to the Joseph Smith translation of the Bible. Okay, so to learn more about the Joseph Smith translation and the history of it, there's some videos that are fascinating. You can learn about a man named Robert J. Matthews, the great work he did with Joseph Smith, with the Joseph Smith translation. So look those up. There's like a part 1 and a part 2. I would search for something like Doctrine and Covenants 73, or Joseph Smith, Robert Matthews, translation of the Bible, stuff like that. Okay, and then you'll find it. Okay, so here we go. Verse 1. For verily thus saith the Lord, it is expedient in me that they should continue preaching the gospel and in exhortation to the churches in the regions round about until conference. And then, behold, it shall be made known unto them by the voice of the conference their several missions. Now verily I say unto you, my servants, Joseph Smith Jr. and Sidney Rigdon, saith the Lord, it is expedient to translate again. And inasmuch as it is practicable to preach in the regions round about until conference, and after that it is expedient to continue the work of translation until it be finished. And let this be a pattern unto the elders unto further knowledge, even as it is written, now I give no more unto you at this time. Gird up your loins and be sober. Even so, amen. See, the Lord was setting up the pattern of what to do when people are being haters to the church, you know. Okay, so first the Lord addresses the elders and directs them to continue preaching in the nearby areas until the next conference. At that point, many will be called on missions. In verses 3 to 6, the Lord then tells Joseph and Sidney that it is now time to translate again, right? So, however, they should continue preaching until the conference, and then the work of translation should continue. So the Lord's work would continue on, but from time to time, a fire needs to be put out. This would continue to be a pattern for the saints to realize. False and evil people needed to be confounded, but the work of the Lord would continue regardless. And I would add that, like, we need to continue to take advantage of those opportunities for good, you know? Okay, that is it for section 73. Let's do the read it, live it. Okay, here's the read it, live it. Okay, and it says, where's my glasses? Here we go. It says, practicable is a word you use only when describing something that is possible to accomplish. What work of the Lord is possible for you to accomplish right now? Do the practicable thing. Ooh, loving that. Do the practicable thing. Okay. Until Doctrine and Covenants section 74. Stay strong, warrior.